it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video I'm going to be doing a much needed colour and chat, just sharing lots of updates pretty much for the past year. I haven't done a colour and chat since last July and a lot has happened in 2023, and I have explained here and there where I've been and what I have actually been doing and what my plans are going forward. But yeah, I just wanted to do an actual colour and chat because I have said things here and there in live streams, but it's sort of best just to have it in a more consolidated colour and chat video. So for those of you who do enjoy colour and chats and want to colour along, please feel free. I'd love to hear in the comments what you're working on as you are listening to this, or whether you are doing housework or just having it on in the background. That's absolutely fine as well. These are obviously different videos to what I normally do. I've had to put my focus into completed pages videos and other specific videos in recent months, and I will talk a bit about what my plans are when I'm at uni and how I will manage to do videos as well, but we will get to that. That will probably be at the end of the video. But yeah, I've had to make sort of a list of things that I have done this year, because 2023 has really been one of the biggest years for me so far. But yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you all. I'm really excited to do this video because I haven't done one of these for so long. I do have the window open because it's absolutely boiling here. We've got a heat wave this week in the UK, although this will probably be uploaded after that because I have a whole video that will be going up before this. I'm going to be working in Layla Dooley's Beautiful Planet, and if you watched my completed pages video, I shared some plans that I was hoping to do for this month, and I am colouring a picture in this. I've already started it, and I thought because I'm doing a big flower, which is all the same colour, it's a perfect thing to do whilst I am doing a colour and chat, because otherwise if I've got loads of different colours going on, I find it really difficult to actually concentrate on the colouring. So page I'm working on is this one, and probably by the time this video goes up I might have finished it. I might just be working on it a lot more. I might have done a lot more of it, and I'm hoping at some point to do a live stream or two before I leave at the beginning of October. So I might be working on this. It really depends what I have time for and what I'm working on at that point. This is a buddy colour with Rabia, so we're doing a butterfly buddy colour. So she's doing the butterfly from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, and I'm doing this page. So as soon as I saw it, I knew that I wanted to do the butterfly, my signature colour palette for my butterflies that I tend to do. And this is all with polychromos. So I've actually rediscovered my polychromos through doing this picture. So I used Holbeins for the other page that I've done in this one. But yeah, now I'm using polychromos and I love them on this paper. They work so well, and I will just share the colour combo that I'm using before we get started so that I can properly chat about what's been going on instead of sort of explaining what I'm doing. Essentially I'm using 4 colours, and I use Dark Flesh, which is 130, as a base for all of the petals. And then I go in with my darkest colour, Burnt Carmine 193, and then Medium Flesh 131, and then back with Dark Flesh. And then I use my Prismacolor blender. For these overlapping petals, all I'm doing, and I will zoom in for you, all I'm doing is a base of the Stabilo 0.88 fine liner. This is 28, so this is a lovely dusky pink, sort of ash pink colour. I'm then using Burnt Carmine as the shadow, and then Cinnamon, and that's it. So for both things, the petal and the overlapping petal, I'm using Burnt Carmine as the shadow colour. So I'm just going to zoom you in now. That should be close enough. I'm going to be working on this area here on the big petals. I might have to just keep adjusting how I'm sitting because I need to make sure that I can colour them. Right, so as I said, the last colour chat I did was July 2022, sorry, definitely not 2023, that would have been a couple of months ago. And yeah, a lot has happened. in most ways, when I got to July, I'd really done the sort of the hardest part of 2023 already, because I'd done all of my exams. I still have sort of a lot of milestones now coming into the latter part, but I've definitely accomplished more in the first half so far, which is really exciting and sort of reassuring, because I've got quite a lot of, you know, big things out of the way. So for those of you who haven't watched me for a while, or I know that I really don't go into stuff that much in you know, completed pages videos and things, I did my A-level exams this year, so I've been studying for them for 2 years. I started in 2021 and I took all of my exams over a 5-week period, I want to say. Yeah, 4 or 5 week period, from the end of May to the middle of June. So when I got my timetable through, it was slightly frustrating because I had one English exam and then I had a 2-week gap, and then all the rest of my exams over then, yeah, a 2-week period. So they weren't all close together like I thought they would be, but then looking at the timetable, I did think, oh, that's normal, because all of the essay subjects are normally first, and then I also took maths, and math is normally at the end with the sciences, and then music was sort of in the middle. So yeah, I took English literature, maths and music, and by the end of the 2 years, March and April were the busiest months out of everything, purely because I had so many deadlines and stressful things happening at that point. I had a lot of concerts going on at that time, as well as all of these deadlines and revising. So in some ways, I do think that March and April were almost busier than the actual exam period, because obviously with the exam period, I had you know, I had all the time off to revise, and although I was revising, you know, a lot every day, I wasn't going into college, I wasn't having that travel factor added in, and it just in some ways it's harder because I like having deadlines and things to do, and it was quite tricky sometimes just, you know, revising and not having all of these deadlines. But I was glad when I got through March and April, basically. So during that time I had an Evensong concert, I had a big end of year concert where all of us doing music, we do get involved in lots of chamber music, and it's one of the most important concerts that we do during our time at college, and I loved it so much, it was so fun. But we had a mock exam a couple of days before it, so there was a lot going on in that time. And also at that time I had deadlines for my performance for music, and my composition portfolio needed to be done as well. So that wasn't really revision, that was to do with actually getting stuff done for my A-level. So once March and April were done and we were into May, all I had to do was revise, which I know is easier said than done, but I had all of the extra things done, which was really nice. So yeah, it was kind of nice knowing that by the time I got to that point, I'd got 20% of my English literature done, because I'd completed my composition, sorry, I'm getting confused. I'd got my coursework done for English in first year and at the beginning of second year. And then I'd got 60% of my A-level for music done, which was so nice to know. Maths, we don't have any coursework, so that was all relied upon with the exams. So when I actually came to the exams, I felt fine about them, and when I came out of the exams, I was lucky in that I didn't feel like any one particular exam went horrifically, but I did come out of some of the exams thinking, oh, you know, they were really difficult papers, and other people felt the same. So that was quite nice knowing that, you know, we were all in the same boat. This was really this was the first time that our specific year has done proper external exams, because we were one of the COVID years, because we were in our first GCSE year in year 10. So I was heavily affected with my GCSEs, and even kind of a bit for my A-levels, because I hadn't done proper exams until my A-levels. So I was affected with that. But yeah, I mean, they were done, and obviously there's nothing you can do about them once they are done. I didn't think that I could have really done anything more, which to me is really what's most important. Like I tried my best, and you know, their A-levels, they're difficult. So yeah, I got those done by the 20th of June. And then I was very excited because I went to see Harry Styles in Cardiff on the 21st of June. So my mum had said that we couldn't go to any of the Wembley shows because they were during my exams. Well, they were during the exam period. And when they were being, when the tickets were being sold, we didn't know yet what days my exams were going to be. So she just said, let's not book then because it could be really bad timing. So we didn't. And I didn't end up having exams on any of the Wembley days, but I was glad that I didn't go to one of them because it meant that I could really enjoy it, you know, when I actually went to Cardiff, because I didn't have to think about exams. And I was so excited to go. You know, it was the day after I'd finished my last A-level maths, and that particular paper was so tricky. I can't tell you, like, there were some questions that just, some of us just didn't know how to answer. We were like, we've never seen anything like that before. And they put some questions in that didn't even look like any of the A-level maths content that we covered. They were very tricky. Luckily, because of that, the grade boundaries were a bit lower. But yeah, I was just so relieved that I could fully enjoy going to Cardiff. So I went with my mum because, again, I didn't know when my friends would be free, and she secretly did really want to go. So yeah, we went up and stayed the night and had a lovely time just walking around and seeing Cardiff. I really love it. It's such a great place, and I'd definitely like to go back. But it was absolutely amazing, and just being able to see him live before he stopped his tour, I was really grateful for, because now I don't really know when the next time will be when he will tour, because I reckon he'll tour when he comes out with a new album, so I don't know when that will be. So yeah, it was so much fun. And I couldn't fully relax after my A-levels because I had a piano concert, so I did need to prepare for that, and that was at the beginning of July. And my friend and I, who are both first study pianists, we were playing along with a few other people. They always do a piano concert each year just to celebrate the piano, because otherwise there's not really much opportunity for pianists to play unless they're playing chamber music, and we don't really do solo stuff in the other concerts. So I did a Ravel piece, which was the Piano Concerto in G major. It was the second movement, and I love it. It's such a beautiful piece. And my piano teacher played with me as the orchestral part, and I loved it. And my family came, and yeah, it was really special that night. I loved it. And it was nice being back at college, because it had been 2 weeks since I'd been in at all. I felt very odd, quite alien, just because I was used to being in college every day, and then suddenly with study leave I wasn't in at all. So yeah, it was so nice to be back. So after that point, yeah, it was really nice just to relax fully, although only for a few days, because this summer I really haven't had that much time off. I went to I did interrailing for pretty much the whole of July, for just over 3 weeks, and before that I'd done work. I'd earned some money, and I'd been working. So I am still doing a bit of piano teaching, but I also work at a farm shop just to earn some extra money, and I was trying to do as much of that as I could before I went interrailing, just so that I, you know, had extra money. So I went away interrailing on the 7th of July and I came back on the 28th. And I started off in Berlin. So I was solo interrailing, and what ended up happening was I met my mum in Paris at the end, and I really liked that, and I would definitely do more solo travelling. It worked out really well actually, because I'd met some people when I was travelling who said that, you know, there are pros and cons to travelling with other people and without, and I think for my first time travelling I was so glad that I did it alone, just because I got to experience a lot more. And it's also, if you go in even with one other person, there is, you know, if you want to go off and do something that they don't, then you'd maybe feel bad about doing something that they didn't want to do. And so yeah, it was just nice having the freedom to do what I wanted to do. And I would love to go on holiday with friends. I think 3 weeks in hindsight would have been quite a long period of time. So it was nice having the flexibility going on my own, and yeah, it's definitely made me want to do more. So I went to Berlin, and then I went to Prague and Vienna and Florence, and finished in Paris. So I'd been to Prague before in 2018, absolutely loved it, knew I wanted to go back. My parents lived there for nearly a year before I was born, and because I went in 2018, I could remember it a lot, but I was actually staying in the Newtown part where my hostel was, but it was only a 10-minute walk into the centre, which was nice. I think the biggest thing for me was, after such a stressful couple of months, just, you know, just being able to walk around and just, you know, go to different places, see artwork, see buildings, you know, and you're learning in a totally different way, you know, and absorbing information and absorbing places that's totally different from sitting an exam. So it was, yeah, it was really nice to do, and it was sort of a replacement for a gap year for me, because I'm not doing a gap year because I'm doing music at university, and I don't think it would be very good if I wasn't playing piano for an extended amount of time. I think I do need to keep that skill up. I guess the same if you were doing maths or something. You need to keep the, you know, your brain going with all of the, you know, all the maths. So for me, it just wasn't something that I had considered. So I wanted to do some sort of travelling whilst I was, whilst I had that, you know, those months free. So yeah, it was really, really worthwhile, and I loved it so much. I did share a haul of things that I got, and what I ended up doing whilst I was away was I sort of sacrificed having the luxuries of, you know, like luxury food and stuff, and I went out quite a lot purely because it was cheaper in some areas, but in terms of like getting ice creams and things out, I really didn't get that many, but it was just so that I could pick up a few, you know, lovely things just as reminders of the places. So yeah, I was really grateful that I was able to do that, and I love them and I can't wait to use them all. So I can go into more detail about my interrailing if you'd like to. I mean, if I get a chance, I could do a separate colour and chat talking about the places, because I didn't do a vlog. I just didn't really want to be like filming a lot, because then I felt like it would take away from me just like absorbing the places, if that makes sense. So I took lots of photos, but yeah, I just wanted to just be in the places as much as I could. So yeah, I could definitely do a separate video if you are interested in hearing more about it. But yeah, when I came back, I oh no, sorry, there was one other thing I wanted to mention, which I'm not sure if I did. When I was in Florence, I did end up getting some gigs. I walked past a restaurant with a piano, and they happened to have someone playing that night, and I thought, oh well, I'll pop in tomorrow and just see whether I could potentially play. I wasn't sure if the pianist that was playing there, you know, played every day, or, you know, what the situation was. Anyway, I spoke to the manager, played a couple of pieces to him, and yeah, I got 2 gigs. So I was playing a lot of Tom Adele and Adele, and actually that was pretty much it, because it was for 2 hours, so it was quite a long time, an extended amount of time for a gig, but I loved it, and that's exactly the sort of thing I like doing when I play. I have done classical music for all my life, for all my grades, but singing and playing together is the thing I love to do, and I was so pleased that I managed to do it. And it was really out of my comfort zone, because it was just so unexpected. I didn't think I would even be able to do anything like that, and I wasn't even expecting to be paid. They paid me, and they gave me free food and wine afterwards, and I met the lovely waitress. She was actually from Croatia, and we got along really well, and I'm now keeping in contact with her. But yeah, I just hope that it could potentially lead to you know, doing it again, because we are hoping to go to Tuscany in 2 years' time, and where we're staying is not far from Florence, so I was hoping that I could maybe tack on a trip back there and see if I can maybe do more gigging, because I also have the manager's number, so I could get in contact with him. So yeah, I'm just really excited, and it's made me want to do more whilst I'm at uni as well. So yeah, that's something I'm really excited about. So yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. But yeah, I have been doing a lot of work in between going on holiday to Croatia, which we were away for 2 weeks in August. So I did 2 weeks of work in between Interrailing and Croatia, and I did a 5-day solid shift, which was quite a lot. I did, yeah, quite a few days in between that time. Croatia was beautiful. We were in and around the Dalmatian Islands. So for the first week we were on a boat, and we went to lots of different islands. It was the best way to see so many places in a short space of time, and we met loads of lovely people on the boat. We were so lucky. We were really I think we were the only English people. There were some South Africans and Australians. We were very lucky, because obviously, you know, we're just so lucky that everybody speaks English nowadays. My dad in particular, well, both my parents are speak some French, but my dad in particular is very good at it. So he was glad that he had the opportunity to practice, because there were quite a few French families and some Austrians as well. So yeah, it was really nice to meet new people, and we went with my grandparents. Yeah, and had a lovely time. And in the second week we were in Korčula, which is such a beautiful island, and we were in a villa just outside the main centre, and it was a lot more relaxed that week. But even then on the boat, it wasn't, you know, you still got lots of time to chill out, but then every evening slash afternoon they would always dock up, and you would be able to go and visit the place. My favourite was Hvar, definitely. I would love to go back there. Yeah, Hvar was so gorgeous. I'm really confused about what's what on this flower. I'm presuming this is all the flower. I think I might just do that, because it's really confusing me. And I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm saying and not what I'm colouring. But yeah, Croatia was amazing. It was the first time we'd been, and my grandparents had been quite a few times before, so they were really excited to take us. And yeah, had such a great time. So since we got back, I've been working quite a lot, but the big things that happened in Croatia were that Tom and I both got our results. So Tom has just finished his GCSEs. So the system here in the UK, I know, is different from other places. Basically, we do GCSE exams when we're 16 or 15, nearly 16, and then we do A levels when you're 17, 18. So there's 2 years in between them, and the GCSEs determine whether you get into college. So college here is an extra 2 years of school. So college isn't university, so we class them as different things. Whereas I think in America, college is university. So it is very confusing. So yeah, Tom is now starting college, so the 2 years of A levels tomorrow, and I will be starting university in October. So Tom got his GCSE results. He did so well, and he got his in the second week. I got mine in the first. So I did say on my Instagram and on YouTube that I did manage to get into Oxford, and I'm going to be studying music. So I don't think I ever mentioned it in a video, because I got my offer in January, but I didn't want to get my hopes up and mention it and then not get in. So yeah, I didn't mention it to many people, because yeah, I wasn't sure. It's hard to get into. I needed 3 A's, and I'd originally applied to Christ Church. So the application process was quite long. I had to start thinking about it in July of last year, to start writing my personal statement and start thinking about my portfolio of things that I needed to include. So I had to include 2 essays, 2 harmony works, a composition, and then it all got sent off in November. I had interviews for different unis at the same time as well, and then my interviews for Oxford were in December, so I had 3, and at that time I also had COVID. I just wanted to mention, whilst I was colouring this, I realised I forgot to say that I did all of my Oxford interviews on Zoom, so I wasn't infecting anybody. I wasn't feeling great, but I wanted to persevere and do them. I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity. But yeah, just wanted to make that clear. So I had COVID on the day of my of the interviews, and I felt so bad, but I got through them, and it worked out in the end. Well, I was so worried, because what ended up happening was I needed 3 A's to get into Christ Church, and I ended up getting A star AB. So because Christ Church are one of the biggest colleges and one of the best colleges, they are very strict on their grades, so they didn't accept me. And what happened on results day was I was hoping to see what uni I got into first, but because I couldn't get onto UCAS, I had to check my college website to see my grades. And when I saw A star AB, I was convinced I hadn't got in, because I knew with the B, they probably wouldn't let me in. So it was very stressful, because I didn't know for a while if I'd actually got in or not. I then ended up getting an email saying that I've got an unconditional offer at my first choice uni. So I was like, oh, amazing. I have got into Oxford, I just don't know where yet. And it took me a while, and my friends helped me out, but I ended up having to search online the code for the specific college that I would be going to. And I am going to Trinity College. So I went for a tour last week, and I love it. I think I love it just as much as Christ Church, if not more. It's a bit smaller. There's only one other person doing music, and it just feels right. And I didn't apply there at first because only 2 students get in each year, and I didn't want to have, you know, a smaller chance of getting in, whereas with Christ Church 5 people get in. So I thought I'd take my chances with Christ Church, and you know, because there was a bigger amount of people that get in. But yeah, I'm so pleased I'm going to Trinity, and I'm really pleased with my results. The A star was in music, and I got A in maths and B in English literature, and I'm, you know, I think if it wasn't for getting into a specific uni, you know, I would be so happy with those results. But because it mattered so much where I got into, it dulled my appreciation for actually, you know, the grades. Because I later found out that English was, you needed 83% to get an A, and normally 83% is about an A star grade. So they ended up reducing the upping the grade boundaries significantly for our year, and it was the same for Tom with his GCSEs. So I couldn't be happier with my B. And English was my weakest subject anyway, so I think I would have been upset if it had prevented me going to Oxford. So I'm just really grateful that it did end up working out and I can still go. Because some unis do UCAS points, so an A star, an A, a B and so on, they're all worth specific points. And if you add them up, 3 A's is the same as A star AB. So on paper they look different, but the amount of points both sets of grades are the same. So some unis do it by UCAS points, but it just so happens that Oxford don't, and therefore it is more about the letter grade rather than the points. So yeah, I'm just so chuffed it ended up working out, and I'm very, very excited to go. They are 8-week terms. I start in October, and I know I will be very, very busy, which is why I needed to sort of talk about really what the future is for my channel, because what essentially happens at Oxford and Cambridge is everything is reduced. So most unis, I believe, are about 11 weeks, 10, 11, 12 weeks. They reduce that amount of work into 8 weeks. So it's the same amount of work, but just condensed. And yeah, what I'm hoping to do is do 1 to 3 videos a month. So I'm definitely going to do my completed pages videos. That's a definite. Haul wise, I probably won't be getting that much, but we will see. It depends if I will continue doing those every 2 months or so. And in terms of my colour palette, colour combination videos, I might have to do those when I come home. But what I'm thinking of doing is prioritising either a colour and chat or the occasional vlog here and there. I don't know if you would be interested in seeing parts of Oxford. Or I'm colouring quandaries videos, so I've really neglected doing those, but that's been one of my favourite type of video to do. And yeah, so I'd really appreciate, you letting me know what sort of videos you would like to see most. Some of them I won't be able to do. Things like colour alongs and stuff I'm not going to be able to do. But I was thinking of maybe doing videos focusing on fine liners, or just showing, quick videos of, oh, here's what I'm colouring and here's how I incorporate the fine liners into them. So I think I'm just going to have to play it by ear and see how busy I am, because I need to prioritise my studies, but equally I know that with the ramping up of the work, having this as my relaxing time is going to be so important, because even if it's just, as I've always said, even if it's just for 10 minutes a day, or just looking through a book and seeing the beautiful illustrations, I know that I'm going to need that little bit of time just to relax, because it's going to be stressful. I know it is, and there's going to be so many fab things to do and people to meet, but I also do just need to bear in mind that colouring has always been this thing that I have had just to wind down after a busy day, or just do 10 minutes before I start a busy day. So yeah, I think the routine and the intensity of the 8 weeks will work for me, because I like having deadlines and I like knowing what hours of my day are going to be filled and what I have free. I think it will work for me, but I do need to make sure that I have time for all of these different things. Aside from the actual music degree, I want to do some music enrichment. I obviously want to hopefully go out clubbing a lot and have a good time and meet people. So I think it will be quite a balancing act. But yeah, I know you guys have always been really, really, really good in sort of understanding where I'm at in my life, and because I started in year 9, I didn't have as much pressure then, and then COVID happened and then even year 10 and 11 weren't really the same. So it's been these last 2 years where everything has sort of slowed down a bit in terms of me making videos, and yeah, so I sort of just wanted to explain where I'm headed with my channel. I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going. I can't see a time where I won't be doing this channel, if I'm honest with you. So I am really, really looking forward to being able to film over the next 3 years and look back after I've done my degree. I think that would be so good just to have captured those 3 years. A book that's coming out though that I'm really, really excited about is Joanna Basford's Small Victories book, because I think that will be just what I need. I'm only going to be taking a few books with me. I'm definitely feeling this one. I think I might take Beautiful Planet and Woodland Wild by Claire Therese Gray, the watercolour book, because it'll be nice having some watercolour to do instead of colour pencil, and then some Rita Berman. So that will probably be it. I'm going to try and see if I can take 5 books. It depends how much room I have. But yeah, I won't be taking that many, so you won't be seeing too much variety, but I'll try and switch in my books each term. But yeah, that has basically been what's been going on. I think I've missed one crucial thing that happened in May as well, which was I passed my driving test. So again, I'm not really sure if I mentioned, but I'd been learning since I turned 17, and then I took 3 tests in 2023, I think February, April and May. The first time I did my test, it was sort of 50-50 whether I might pass, and I didn't. Second time, unfortunately, I was really convinced that I had passed, and it was something really minor that I didn't pass. And so I was feeling like really, I was feeling really sort of drained, and I didn't really know where to go from there after that one. And I thought, well, I'll just get another test in and see what happens. I was like, I need to get it done, because I wouldn't have had time over this summer to be able to do it. So I finally passed at the beginning of May, and I was really chuffed because I got it done before any of my exams started, before I had to worry about those. So yeah, I love driving, and I've been driving to work. I had a motorway lesson after I passed. Yeah, I really haven't had that much time to drive. I won't need to drive when I'm at uni because everything's walkable, and if I ever do need to, well, it's my dad's car, so I wouldn't even be able to take it, but if I do need public transport, then I'd use a bus. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'm trying not to make this video super long, but I can, if I have time, do another colour and chat, sort of delving into specific things a bit more. But yeah, I would be really interested to know, you know, what videos you particularly like to see, because or if you're happy with sort of what I'm proposing to do. And yeah, I can't promise that I will be able to do anything, but I will do my best. But yeah, I'm just so excited to see what happens. I'm sure that I've forgotten something, but yeah, yeah, I can't think of anything else in particular by now, but I definitely need to get into the habit of doing these more regularly, because trying to cram the whole of 2023 so far into one video has been tricky. So yeah, as I said, I can hopefully do another one at some point, and hopefully I'll be able to do a couple of live streams here and there. The filming might be a bit hit and miss when I'm at uni. I don't know what the setup will be like yet. So yeah, yeah, that's really what I wanted to talk to you about. So I'm just going to zoom out so you can see it. I don't think I really got that much done, but I'm loving this so far. I'm just having such a good time doing this, and even though these pages are detailed, I enjoy every second doing them. I loved doing my other page, and I'm just already looking forward to doing more of this. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, everything will be down below. If I remember, I'll put a link to this book. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.